Heyo! Welcome to the $100 MBA show, where we're busting through your earbuds with only the best business lessons for the real world. I'm your host, your coach, your teacher, Omar Zenhom. I'm also the co-founder of the $100 MBA, a complete business training and community online. And today, you will learn how to use Twitter to grow your audience. Twitter has proven in our business to be a great tool to get to know your audience and to grow it as well. And in today's lesson, I'm going to show you how you can use Twitter to do the same. We got a lot to cover, so let's get down to business. Before I get into the details of how to use Twitter to grow your audience, a quick word about social media. You'll notice that we've been talking about social media the last few episodes. The last two, where we're talking about Facebook, we're talking about Twitter, and tomorrow we're talking about YouTube. And social media can be overwhelming. But my advice to you is to focus on one platform, know it well, grow your audience, and then move on to the next one. When I first started out, I really focused on Twitter. I then moved on to YouTube. Then I moved on to Facebook, and now Google Plus and LinkedIn. But the point is, it's very hard to focus on many platforms at the same time. You need to focus your efforts on mastering the platform you're working on at one time or one given time, and then move on to the next one once you have a good handle on that platform. This is just what worked for us, and I'm just sharing that experience with you. Now, Twitter and your business. Twitter is one of those information gold mines that a lot of people do not know about. And one of the most powerful things about Twitter is that you can search for different conversations that are happening. So why is this useful? Well, for one, you could search for your business or your type of work. So say, for example, you're a wedding photographer. You could search on Twitter looking for a wedding photographer. And you'll find everybody on Twitter that has written that phrase who's talking about looking for a wedding photographer. And you could jump right into that conversation without following that person and help them out as you are an expert in the subject. So with the search function, it's a great way to build rapport and build credibility with your audience. I started out looking for people that needed help when they're first getting started with their business planning, marketing, and I just reached out and answered questions. I basically jumped into a conversation just like you would jump into a conversation at a party and try to help people out. Sooner or later, people are going to start appreciating what you're doing for them. They're going to follow you. They're going to look at what you're doing on your website, and they'll become a member of your audience. So I highly recommend you use the search option. There's a search box in the top right-hand corner of Twitter, and you could search any phrases, any words, and you can jump into a conversation and help people out. Twitter is about helping people out, engaging people in other people's audiences as well as your own. It's also a great way to find out what people are struggling with. If you're building a product or a service and you want to know what solutions that you can offer, Twitter is a great way to find people talk about their pains. So for example, Nicole and I are currently working on a project that has to do with webinars. So if I search the word webinars or how to run a webinar or anything of the like, I can really find out what people are struggling with, what people are asking, what questions they have. And if I can create a solution to those problems or those questions, I know that my product will serve them well. So the search option in Twitter is a really great tool to find out what pains and problems your audience is having so you can create a solution that you know they're interested in. Again, Twitter is all about conversations. It's about replying to people and getting engaged. So start conversations of your own on your own Twitter profile and start engaging people with questions about what you can do for them. For example, if you're a fashion expert, you may want to ask on your profile, what do you hate most about getting ready for work? Or when you go shopping, what's the thing you hate doing the most? Or what do you not enjoy the most about shopping? Or do you know which colors look best on you? Things like that. Start a conversation, as well as jump into other conversations using the search option. One of the other most powerful things about Twitter is hashtagging. So if you tweet out something and hashtag or use the hashtag symbol before you say something. So for example, if I'm tweeting out about our one-page business plan template that we have on the $100 MBA for free, and I hashtag business plan, anybody who's searching for business plan or looking for help with a business plan will find my tweet easily because it's hashtag business plan. It's like indexing it. So make sure you use hashtags when you're tweeting out if you want people to find your actual tweet. So when people use the search option, they can find the information they're looking for. We found that our engagement, our favorites, our retweets have dramatically increased when we use hashtags. But make sure you don't hashtag your tweet with comments or words that have nothing to do with the actual content of the tweet. Don't just bait them to come and take a look at your tweet when it has nothing to do with what you offer. Some people do this and it really backfires. An example of this is if I was trying to share my business plan template and I hashtag Justin Bieber or something like that. Justin Bieber has nothing to do with that template, but I'm just trying to bait people that love Justin Bieber, which is a lot of people, to take a look at my tweet. So make sure your hashtags are relevant. Another great tool when using Twitter is the @ option. So when you use the @ sign and you @ somebody, meaning mention somebody that is on Twitter, they get a notification that they've been mentioned on a tweet. Now, we mention a lot of people with our tweets because we mention them on the show, like authors of books, experts, websites, companies, and it allows them to know that we're mentioning you. And a lot of people, when you mention them in a tweet, they'll retweet it to their followers. And it's a great way for you to spread your message to other audiences. But remember, just like the hashtags, don't @ somebody if you're not really mentioning them in the content of your tweet. So as you can see, Twitter is all about engagement. And Twitter's a great way for you to show what you can offer the world, your audience, how you can answer questions, how you can solve problems. And it's also a way for you to learn about them, what they're struggling with. And it's a great way for you to come up with great ideas to serve that audience. Guys, I'm going to wrap up this lesson with an assignment. I want you to jump on Twitter after this episode. I want you to tweet out what you're working on. I want to learn about what you're doing in your business or what project you're working on right now. This really helps me so I can know what kind of things to cover on this show, on the $100 MBA show. So I want you to start out your tweet by saying, hey, @BizRepublic. That's my handle on Twitter, BIZ Republic. So start with saying, hey, @BizRepublic, I'm working on X. I would love to learn about this. Go ahead and tweet that out after the show, and if you're feeling dangerous, use some hashtags. Thank you so much for listening to the $100 MBA show. We really, really appreciate your listenership. By subscribing to our show and leaving us an iTunes rating and review, you show your support and help us rank better on iTunes and get more exposure to help other people. So if you have 2 minutes, you can drop us an iTunes rating and review and help us out. You can learn more how to do that at 100mba.net/show. Here's a review from Tammy's in Love. She says, new listener. I just started listening to this podcast as I'm starting my own business and wanted to get more inspiration. I'm loving this guy's advice. It's practical and real. The 10-minute increments are the perfect length and they pack a good punch. Thanks, Tammy. We really appreciate that review and your support. Guys, I want to leave you with this. Social media has this tendency where it gets you trapped in this thinking of, I have to have 1 billion followers. I have to have 1 million likes. I have to have X amount of subscribers on my YouTube channel. It's not really about the numbers. It's about the engagement. It's how engaged are the people that are following you, that are liking your page. If you have a high engagement rate, then that's all you really need to worry about. Having 10,000 followers, 20,000 followers on Twitter really doesn't matter if all of those followers do nothing and don't answer any questions, they don't engage with you, they don't tweet at you, they don't do anything with you. This is what's called a vanity metric. Having 20,000 followers just strokes your ego. Don't fall into this trap of just chasing followers or likes or whatever the platform is using. Chase engagement, chase connection with other people. That's what's going to help your business at the end of the day. All right, guys, I'll check you in the next episode. Take care.